Hi everyone, Assassin Gaming here and welcome to the upload. Today we're starting episode 2 of Satisfactory Update 8. Now, this series now has a official end date of September 10th because this game is leaving early access on that date. So what does that mean for the series? Well, it means we're going to have to get done as much as we can before that date. Now, I do apologize for the lack of uploads. I've been experimenting with OBS a little bit. Well, not a little bit, but quite a lot. But I have finally found the settings I am happy with, so there will be more uploads in the future. With that said, let us get a move on with our tasks for today because we do have quite a lot on our list of chores to do. Because we're going to dismantle everything and we're going to rebuild it. Because this backlog of material is a very large offense in my eyes. So we are going to cut the power for our iron and copper. And while that's happening, there is a milestone we need to urgently complete. So let's go and grab some extra materials just in case we need them. Okay. So the milestone we need urgently is this one. Why? Because we need the copper sheets for when we go to tiers 3 and 4. You know what? We're going to do something a bit stupid. We are going to take this lookout tower and hopefully get on the cargo pod as it's taking off. Why? Well, here's a counter question for you. Why not? So I'm sorry if you're not a fan of heights, but we are doing this.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator.
That was a perfect landing.
Note, project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
And wait, really? That's as high as you're gonna let me go? Oh well. At least we get a bit more of an idea of the lay of the land. So that's a plus. I have to say the view is nice up here though. So what do we have? So we have, looks like another crash pod there and another one there. What else do we have? We have a lot of hatches and 3 limestone deposits. That's going to be handy for a concrete production facility. And we got more hatches. Looks like an iron vein there. And I'm not sure what that is, so we'll have to check that out at another time. A crash pod there, and we have our gold mine there. Okay. Anything else of significant note other than this ramp here? If I ever need to go up here for whatever reason, I'll at least have a very easy way of doing so. But now it comes the ultimate question of how shall we go about getting down? Option 1 is to just, wait 4 minutes, but where's the fun in that? So instead, we're going to try and land in the water. So, come now, come place your bets. Will Assassin Gamer make it into the water, or will he become a stain on the ground? And for those of you who do not want to see the ground rushing towards you, look away now. Everyone else, here we go, for glory. And up, no. Oh, it's hey, we made it. We made it. Awesome. I honestly thought I was going to go splat for a second there. So thankfully, I did not. Okay, so what's happening at the copper area? Alright, you're slowly getting there, which is good. And what about you over here? You are just about done, which is good to see. Correction, you are done. So what I'm going to have you do for me is I'm going to have both of you deal with some gold. So what I will need is a storage container here. Connect you to there. And let's go and get that gold out of storage. Might as well take advantage of the setup while it's still there, right? And then while that is happening, oh, perfect. Okay, make me quick wire. Okay, so while that is happening, I need to make some reinforced iron plates. Why? Well, because we're going to be building a lot of constructors very soon. So with the sacred power of post-production editing, it will be done right about now. Okay. So, first things first, I do need to build a equipment workshop. Why? Because I need a chainsaw rather urgently. Because what we're going to do with that chainsaw is we're going to play the unfortunate role of being a lumberjack. Why? Well, we need materials to turn into biomass and then into biofuel. So, what I'll do is we'll get rid of these, maybe because we don't need them anymore. And we will temporarily store the things that we do not really need. And with that, time to go and chop down some trees and get rid of some foliage. And you can be the first one. Alright, well, I'm going to fast forward this, so I will see you all very shortly. Oh? Hold that thought.
The mycelia within this fungus suggests strong molecular bonding features frequently observed in adhesives and medicine, both beneficial for field research. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Okay, well, that's handy. Whether we'll use it or not, that will be another question entirely. But now I can do the fast forwarding. Okay, now that all of that has been taken care of, time for us to build our production line for our solid biofuel. So we'll work in reverse here. So that cargo container will hold the solid biomass. You will make the solid biomass. And then you and wait, might actually help if I actually put them the right way. And probably not have it so far over there. All right. So you will make the solid biofuel. And then we'll put a container here for the leaves. Put you there. And then we'll put a container there and there for the wood. All right. Now that we have all this more or less sorted out, the only thing left to do is get it all connected up and powered. So I hereby press the fast forward button. Actually, you know what? I just realized I goofed up. Because I needed a third constructor here. To deal with making the biomass. Wait. Hang on. What? No, never mind. My eyes were playing silly buggers on me. So we did have the right amount of constructors. Don't know how I managed to make that mistake. Anyways, back to fast forwarding. Okay. So realistically, the only thing left to do is to create some biomass burners. Alright, so 4 should be enough for the foreseeable future. Hopefully. We'll just quickly get these all hooked up. Then have you connect to that. And you connect to the rest of the grid. And all that's left is to feed them with materials. Okay. So all we gotta do now is put some fuel into you. Get rid of that one. Put the fuel into here. Because what we're going to do now is we're going to move where the hub is. It should be right here. Completely out of the way. So let's just get these few things put away. And that. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So how are my facilities over here doing? So you are done with all that, which is great. Okay, I do not want any more screws, thank you. Alright. That should tie us over for now. I'll just wait for all of that to finish doing what it's doing. In the meantime, let's get all of this broken down. Actually, what I need to do is move where our concrete production is. Which I think right about here will do. So we'll do the same setup as we have there. So I'll just fast forward it all. Okay, now that we sorted all that out, now I had to move where the cable was running because the current ones are about to be demolished. Let's just quickly deal with that. And we'll dismantle all of this. Oop, no. Do not dismantle those. And apparently I was deconstructing so much that my computer had to do a lot of thinking for a moment there. Alright, so how are we doing with our copper? So those are fine. You still have quite a bit to do. Alright. So what we'll do is we'll do a very, very quick and simple setup for the copper. Why? Well, I'm essentially going to be, remaking it later anyway. And copper is not what I would say high on my list of priorities at the moment. So, what we will do is we'll have 3 smelters. And each one will be connected to a single constructor. So we'll just put the conveyors in real quick. Then we'll put you there, you there, you there, and you there. Now, if you're wondering why I'm only building 1 constructor for each smelter, well, here's the thing. 1, I do not want to spend too much time on something I'm just going to deconstruct in the very near future. And 2, well, this episode isn't about the copper, but more about the iron. That being said, I do need to keep some form of production going for our copper items. Because if we don't, it's going to potentially cause us a few problems later on. And as for... Actually, what I might do is I'll put you there. Put you there, and we connect you up to over here. Okay. So you will make wire, which will then turn into cable. You will just make wire. And you will make my copper sheets. Now, trying to think, do I really want to do anything else? Nope. Which means we are good to go. Anything I do need to do though is connect these storage containers to the constructors. Perfect. So it's not efficient. It will get the job done and it will get us some copper parts, which we urgently do need. All right. Why is my computer doing so much thinking? All right, so you're empty. What about you? You're almost empty, which is brilliant. But you are not quite there yet. Okay, wow. After everything's been moved and destroyed, you kind of realize just how much space you have. Goodness. All right. So, how are we going to lay this out? So, if we go in this direction. Right, you know what? Let's start off with a basic 5x5 foundation. Just to get us a bit warmed up. Alright. So how are we going to set this up? Well, for starters, we are going to put a splitter here, which will follow by a melter here. Now, I'm not going to construct the entirety of the production line, but I will explain the plan for it. So we're going to have 4 smelters, and I think 3 constructors are all we're really going to need for now. The only reason I say that, actually, you know what? I think 3 of these are all we really going to need because of the speed of our conveyors. So our Mark 1 conveyors can only deal with 60 units of material at a minute. So that's essentially 1 material a second. So let's not go too overboard for the iron plates. So what we'll do after we bring all the iron ingots in, we'll put a splitter here, which will then go into a set of constructors. And it seems I do need just a smidgen more space. And then what we'll do is we'll bring it all together, but we will split it again and have it go into a container. Now, you're probably asking me, why am I doing it like this? Well, the reason being is because some of the iron plates need to go into a assembler. And at the same time, we need to keep some aside for ourselves. So, actually, you know what? Let's do this. I am just going to have a line like this here for the time being. Then I'll do the same for the iron rods and the screws, just so something is getting produced. But before I do that, what I might do is give myself a little bit more breathing room in terms of our foundations. And apparently it's too high, so let's build a ramp there. Because what I'm thinking is we can have our assemblers here. So what I'll just quickly do, if we can't maintain a pattern a little bit here, I guess not. That's fine. So what I'll do is do this little trick. There we go. And then you can go to there. And then we can very safely get rid of that pole. Alright. So I will very quickly get all this connected to power. then what I'll do is I'll have each building have its own dedicated power pole. Just makes, you know, sorting things out a little bit easier in the long term. So put you there. And all I need now is a power pole there to connect to you. And you connect to there, and you connect it there. Okay. So like I said, it's not going to be efficient, but meh. At least it's, you know, getting a start on something. And now, let's very quickly build our area for our iron rods and the screws. All right, so it's going to be the same setup as here, so I am just going to skip that part. Okay, so we've built that, but things are going to be a bit different from this point, because what's going to happen is instead of splitting off into a cargo container there, what's going to happen is we're going to bring in all the parts, and then we're going to split it. But we're also going to split it again for our joyous screw production facility. I feel like I might have given a little too much room there. A bit hard to judge when you got a power pole causing overlap. And then what will happen here is there will be a cargo container which will hold our iron rods for us. So essentially, some rods will go in there, some will become screws, and then because our conveyors can't handle the high volume of screws, we'll just have it go into its own dedicated storage container. And on this side we'll have 4 smelters, probably we'll have 3 smelters, and then 4 constructors, 4 constructors, 4 containers. So let me just very quickly get everything hooked up and powered up. Okay. With that, we have at least a starting point for our iron facility. So what I'm going to do now, and I am going to fast forward this part, I'm not going to skip it, is I need to get our extra smelters and constructors all built up. So do enjoy the fast forwarding. Okay. So that's our iron plates sorted for the time being. And yeah, there is a bit of a backlog on parts, but nothing I can really do about it at this point. At least not until we get the better conveyors. How much of a backlog do you have? Not a lot. I think we can get away with only having 3 constructors for our iron rods, in all honesty. Based on that. Now, there was another reason why I decided to do it like this, and that was to kind of test how easy it would be to expand the production line with this setup. And honestly speaking, I would have to say that it is extremely easy. Well, would actually help if I set things up properly with the alignment. There we go, much better. Perfect. So I'm going to go back to fast forwarding. So I will see you all in a little bit. Ah, fudge. I had a feeling that was going to happen at some point. It was just a question of when. So, oh wow. That is a very nice amount of solid biofuel. Alright, back on you go. And I think what I might do, just while I'm, already here, is build a couple of extra ones. And then get them powered up. Excellent. Okay. Why do I have a red light here? What do you mean no? Oh. Oops. Alright. At least that's now in production. What I need now are 4 constructors here, followed by the storage. And it seems I am out of alignment. I'll just quickly get these last few connections in. Okay. At least now I know that if for whatever reason I need more smelters or constructors, I will have a very easy time of it. Alright, that's flowing smoothly. You are starting to move smoothly. Bit of a bottleneck here, but that's fine. Mainly because there's nothing I can really do about it at the moment. So, now comes the all-important part. That is the assemblers. And apparently I need to build some rotors. Thankfully, I can craft anywhere as long as I have a craft bench. It's kind of funny how easy it is to just whip up a bench, make the parts you need, deconstruct it, make your factories. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So what I'll do is I'll give myself plenty of room. Because here's the tricky part. Actually, it won't be a tricky part at all. Or will it? Eesh. Alright. What we'll do is we'll put our splitters in. And from there... Oh, looks like I need to grab some more iron plates. There we go. So this is the easy part. Now for the hard part, and that is how we're going to get the screws from these containers to go into the assembler, while also, once we make some more floors, might as well go with the big one. And then we'll just put our container here. Actually, because I just realized that I'm also going to need screws, not only for the reinforced iron plates, but also to make the rotors. Ladies and gentlemen, we have quite the conundrum on our hands. Alright, what can I do about this? Let's think here. Well, for now, I just need reinforced iron plates. That is the main priority. And I have just thought of a way to deal with it. So we'll grab our conveyor lifts. And if we put them like this, what we can do is utilize the conveyor splitter that's already there and make a tower of them. which would then allow us to do this. Yeah, that works. And as for getting the screws out of here. Alright, I know what I can do. It is 100% not going to be very efficient, but at least it's better than nothing. So I'll have a second storage container here because I do need it mostly for the reinforced iron plates, but how many screws do I need for a rotor? Ooh. Okay. Right. Well, that kind of shot me in the foot, didn't it? Oh well, it shouldn't matter too much once the production rate increases. So we'll put you here just for the sake of visuals. Actually, can I get away with it clipping? Yes, I can. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll put you here. Wait. No, I'm using the wrong thing. All right. So what we'll do is we'll do this. We'll have our splitter there. We'll have our mergers there. And from that point, we can simply put a lift there and put a conveyor to there, which will essentially allow our parts to get into the assemblers. Now, there is one annoyance I am going to have to deal with. We'll put you there and connect you to there. And you need to connect to there. And now I can dismantle that. Brilliant. The problem is I've kind of put it out of alignment. But that's fine because I can simply do this instead. So we're essentially going to be reserving some screws for our rotors later. And then what I'll do is we'll put our merge block here. And then connect you up like this. And if all goes well, I should be able to have a decent amount of screws go through. So let's just see how this goes on its own, just for the sake of testing. Okay. That is definitely looking good. The only thing I have to do is connect those ones up. And last but not least, we need to get power to these assemblers. And not to mention, tell it what to actually make. So let's get started on those. I'm not going to worry about a container for them for now. But what I am going to do is quickly get the rest of this set up. So I am going to fast forward that. Okay. So definitely slow going, but at least we now have a steady line of screws being dealt with. So the last piece of this puzzle is going to be making a storage for the reinforced iron plates. And there they are. Ew, looks like I goofed up a little bit and didn't align this one properly. Let me just fix that. Okay, this is brilliant. And I think this would be the perfect time to end this episode. So, what did we manage to accomplish? Well, we got our solid biofuel production line situated over there. And most important of all is that we have our iron production better situated, and we have a production line for our reinforced iron plates. So what's going to be the plan for next episode? Well, next episode we need to deal with these bottlenecks because one, it's giving me a headache, and two, it's slowing down production. So we are going to need the Mark II conveyors next episode so that we can improve our conveyor speed and by extension, our production speed. So thank you very much for watching. If you are not yet subscribed, please feel free to subscribe, like, dislike at your own leisure. Comments, feedback, suggestions are more than welcome down in the comments below. Until the next upload, this is the Assassin Gamer signing off.